In this video, I'm going to talk you through the 5 different types of headshots photography. Understanding these differences is going to give you the right information so that you can find the perfect headshots photographer for your business needs. For the best branded headshots, ideas and inspiration, please subscribe to my channel. If you hit the bell, you will be notified every Friday when I post a new video. If you've been researching headshots photography recently and you're a little bit confused as to how there are so many different types and styles and names for all of these headshots, this is the episode for you. We're going to dive into all of the different 5 categories of different headshots photos so that you're in a much better position when it comes to finding the right headshots photographer for you. You're going to feel a lot more in control on how you're going to debrief your headshots photographer. And let's face it, with this new information, you can dazzle people at the next cocktail party you're at. You never know, you might book work if you're in the creative industries, and people are going to swoon at your new knowledge. So let's get into it. I've shot over 300 different headshot sessions over my 7 years of being in business as a headshots photographer. Prior to this, I had a career in marketing and public relations. This cocktail of unique experience has given me a wealth of knowledge when it comes to all things headshot. The classic headshot is the oldest kind of headshot there is. We know this from our photography history books. So this is the classic tight crop of head and shoulders in a photo. It identifies the best version of you for a wide range of different uses. This could be for going on a casting call or a go-see. It could be to use in the inlay of your book, so like an about the author headshot, or as it's commonly referred to as the mugshot, you might find a headshot like this in your police file. In its simplest form, the classic headshot is a flattering, identifying tool. So that means it's just describing all of the features on your head and face in visual format. In its more complex and refined form, it's presenting you to the world in your most flattering light. With the classic headshot, the photographer imposes their style and approach to taking a headshot. So this is why if you are a model, for example, and you joined a model agency, they would have a uniform style of headshot that they can put up on their wall to show their latest faces, and all of those shots usually match in one way or another. With the classic headshot, you can expect one photograph, so one image, one headshot. Usually the photographer knows the second that they've taken that shot as well. So it's an instinctive reaction. You might have a 10-minute shoot, you might have a 3-hour shoot, but you will end up with one image and the photographer will probably end the session at the minute that they know they've got the shot. Let's take a look at one of my examples. So in this example, I booked a job shooting for ND Makeup. They were running one of their prestigious advanced makeup courses. There was a class full of makeup artists and they had to bring their own models. So this was a shot taken for student Chloe to use in her makeup portfolio. She was demonstrating a stripped back look and then a more made up shot as well. Similarly though, the model who you see in this image could in theory use this image to add to her book, her portfolio, so when she goes on casting calls, she has an example of herself in this style. Number 2 is the branded headshot. Now this is having a little bit of a moment, especially within the entrepreneurial space. The term branded headshot is overly used and bandied around, but it's often misunderstood. So compared to the classic headshot, a branded headshot is going to be a little bit more of a varied photo session, and where the photographer is going to be looking at getting lots of different crops. So yes, sure, you might see a tight crop of you, but usually it's going to be a wider crop of you, and the photographer is going to get you to pose in lots of different places and positions during the shoot. It's important that this part of the shoot is well choreographed in order to bring out the brand message that you're trying to invoke through the photos. This is where it gets misunderstood. So you can do great poses to make yourself look cool and flattering, but if it doesn't match the point and the reason that you're shooting the photos to share your business story, there's going to be a little bit of a jar there, and that's going to stop it from being a branded headshot. Brand color is also infused into the photo shoot and the way that it's planned. Things are very carefully thought out with the composition and the styling. Now, compared to the classic headshot, the photographer's personal photographic style is going to play second fiddle to you, your brand message, and the overall reason that you're shooting the images. With a collection of varied shots from the same session, you're going to have a small collection of visual assets that you can use to present yourself to the world, and those images match the copy that goes next to them. So it's all about a very coherent, very clear business message. Now, when you flip it back and you look at the photographer's body of work, you're going to see quite a varied result. It's not all going to be the same sort of light. You might see a clear signature style, but it won't be as clear as if you were looking at, say, a wedding photographer who has a very clear approach to how all of their images work. You're going to see variances in the way that the image has been lit from shoot to shoot, because the photographer is trying to help that business owner invoke their messages. Think about, I don't know, somebody who's like a gothic magician. Their images are probably going to be dark and moody and quite heavily shadowed. Then think of somebody who's, I don't know, maybe a yogic and meditation instructor. They're going to go with more light and airy vibes because that's what their business messages are. You might still have the same photographer shoot those branded headshots, but like for like, they're going to look quite different. Let's take a look at my example. This was a full shawami headshot session I did with finance and abundance expert Laura Cook. That rich purple colour you can see there on her jumper is part of her brand colours. So she has a lot of rich jewel tones, and the reason she has jewel tones is very closely connected to what it is that she does. She's talking about living in abundance. So speaking a lot about living your life of success through these very carefully considered financial methods and techniques. So it was really important we show Laura in her most abundant and successful self. We wanted to develop a collection of aspirational branded headshots to show what it's like when you get to that level of success. Laura loves the outdoors, she loves spending time with her horse, and that's why we have this outdoorsy vibe going on in this headshot. This was taken within the grounds of a stately home, and I had arranged for us to do a whole set of different branded headshots in different parts of that stately home to help set that scene of abundance. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, and make sure you send it to a friend of yours who you know is currently in a headshots conundrum. I want you to comment below with your favorite style and why you think that that's the right style for you in your business, so we can have a little bit of a chat about it. Mwah.